Alright, well, it's that time of year again. Things are starting to turn green. I think we're done with the snow. So I'm going to do a video on this probably tomorrow. I paid $20 for this. Actually, I paid $30 for much stuff, so let's say 15. Probably 15 of it went to this. I'm missing a bunch of parts, as you can see. But, older mower, good solid deck. And this would probably outlast a brand new one. So what I'm going to do with this tomorrow, I'm going to strip the wheels off. We're going to take it down bare bones. We're going to get rid of this self-propelled system, which is quite dangerous on these old ones. The shaft that comes out to drive this, we'll pull the motor and we'll cut that off flush. Try not to ruin the seal when we do it. And we'll have wheels bolted straight onto here. And we'll get a handlebars on her. We'll get it going. And there are a few parts I actually need to order. I don't have the cover for this yet. But we'll take this piece of junk and we'll make it into a good little mower that your average person with not a lot of money can swing by, give me $80 for it. You know, that's a quarter or a third of what a new one's going to cost, and it'll outlast them. And I'll pressure wash. It'll be a decent looking mower by the time it's done, so might be a couple videos on this. So the next time you see this, it'll be in the shop. I'm going to pull a couple things off it right now before I take it in, but it's getting dark, so I won't be able to video that. And we'll get this little girl running. Alright, I said I wasn't going to do this tonight, but I decided to do it anyway. I got it on its nose. You can see there's some oil leaking out of it. This was setting sideways when I picked it up. So that's just coming out of the plug hole where I took the plug out. Oh, before we start, we're just going to pull this and the wheels off. So to get this off, there's a bracket here on each side, and then this bracket, which is held on by the wheel. So you look over here, we got 4 3/8 headed bolts. Get those out first. And they're pointed, they're like a wood screw, but they're for metal. If these were to twist off, it's not a big deal because we're not going to reuse them. We're not going to bother plugging these holes either. They're not going to hurt anything. If anything, it'll let water drain. If you're wondering about this setup, this is one of those 3/8 to 1/4 inch adapters. Normally I would just have this on my 1/4 inch gear, but it's out in another little project I'm working on. Alright, there's that. Now we're going to move, actually we'll just pan up a little bit. We'll pull these wheels off. Alright, they didn't come off easy, but they came off. We might end up reusing those wheels, hard to say. This would be so much easier if I had a cameraman or woman. Alright, so the only thing holding this on right now is that chain. So I'm just going to reach in and pop that off the sprocket. And there we have it. So you can see how this works. These engage these wheels. So they have kind of treads on them. So we're not going to need that. That's garbage. Once we get about 5 pounds of junk off this, it'll push easy anyways. If I'd have had all 4 adjusters, I'd keep them. I don't think I do. I am going to leave them on here for now because there was another mower that came with this. And it might have the other 2 adjusters on it, because it has adjusters on the front and not the back. But if they're not in good shape, we'll just get rid of those. They're not a crucial thing anyway. But people like them. I never use them. So, you take a look here. Move you over. I've never actually had one of these torn apart. I'm not 100% sure how this is geared. The reason I've never had it apart is because it's not worth taking apart. On a horizontal shaft, this extension is actually your camshaft. Now, I've had these in before. I've done the same thing. I've got rid of them. I've got rid of the self-propelled. Usually what it is the deck is toast, but the motor's good. So I put the motor on another one. So I'll take this off and I'll reach in here with a zip cut and I'll cut that off as close to here as I can. And I'll have to go slow and I'll turn it as I go and put water on it so I don't burn that rubber seal. But you can see there's a little dip here. If you have one of these motors and you're going to repurpose it, be aware that you have to put it on a deck that has this little dip. And they don't all have it. In fact, not very many of them have it now. But we'll get rid of that. That won't be part of it. I don't have a cover for here. How are we framed? We're framed good. But I do have a box of parts. So I went out to my junk pile. Yeah, we're good there. I got myself a handle. And there was a handle on the other mower that came with this, but it was half chrome and half black. I don't really like the chrome handles because once they start rusting, they're hard to deal with. So I got a fuel tank for it. I got a new air filter. I know it's not going to fit that. And I have this cartridge style filter housing. So this will come off. That will go on. So that'll disappear. Now, there are 2 issues that are going to come up. It's going to leave a little hole in the front where this intake goes in. And I'll take a little piece of metal and I'll pop rivet that. You have to cover that hole if you do this. And I don't have one that doesn't have that hole. Because if you don't, it's not going to cool right. So we'll do that. And if you look right here, there's a line that comes out and goes into here. Now this black carburetor, I'm 90% sure I'm not going to be able to get this running. Because these black ones like this, I don't know what it is about them. Well, I think I know what it is about them actually. They have a fixed emulsion tube. It's brass, you can't get it out. There's a bigger, physically larger nut size jet in them. In a lot of these. And after I go through and rebuild them, all the parts fit from the kit except for that gasket. I have to use a nylon gasket for it. They still don't work. So I do try and clean them, see if they'll run on it. And if they do, great. If not, we'll remove that. If I have to remove it, I have other carburetors that have a little spigot that comes out for that line to hook onto. And it's just a crankcase breather. And in fact, some of them, the way they work, is it just came straight down the side and just went to atmosphere. But for emissions, they're supposed to go in there. So we'll see. We'll get across that road when we get to it. But we're well on our way. The next video on this, we'll look at the wheel situation, and we'll clean the carburetor, and we'll see if it'll start. Or we might cut this shaft off too. This is gonna go eventually anyway, so that's it for this video, guys. We'll get to this tomorrow or the next day. I think what I'll do is I'll save these videos, so when you see this one posted, the rest of them will be available. So thanks for watching. See you next time.